Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss R here.
I'm going to do the video now for the triangular based pyramid. Okay, and before I start, I need to do a quick little shout out to Sam B, who watched me do what I'm about to show you guys on the video, and then he helped me help some other kids. So Sam, thank you for your help in class today. That was awesome. Our base is an equilateral triangle, meaning all three of these edges are the same length, and each of our three angles are the same measurement as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, we want our shortest edge to be no less than 1 inch. So I'm going to use my little ruler here, and I'm going to do one of the edges. There's 1 inch, and I'm going to connect those there. In order to make this an equilateral triangle and have each of my edges, right, be the 1 inch, I can't just go up here, because this here on the blue line is 1 inch, and by tilting this, if I go all the way to this point, I'm going to put the beginning of my inch marker right on that point and show you. See how it's just a little bit longer than 1 inch, which might not seem like a big deal, but with geometric forms, if it's not precise, it's not going to work. So that little tiny space is a big deal. This here is my line of symmetry. So I know that my dot that I'm going to connect my other two lines to needs to be on this line in order to make a equilateral triangle. So I'm doing my line of symmetry. It needs to be equal on both sides. I'm going to take my ruler and put the dot on the 1 inch mark, and I'm going to slide this, let's see here, slide, and there it hits the line of symmetry a little bit lower than this blue line. It's going to go right there. All right, so it might not seem like a big deal, but it is. So before I make my line, I just want to measure on this side and make sure that is also 1 inch. So I did a good job. It looks good on both sides. There's 1 inch and 1 inch. The flat shapes that make this up, we have 1 equilateral triangle and then 3 isosceles taller triangles. So altogether, it's going to be 4 triangles, including the one in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3. So I have this little guy. I'll just show you real quick, right? It folds up together to become the triangle-based pyramid. And the reason this needs to be so precise is because this edge, when we measure things, we want this edge to be the exact same length as this edge. When you actually fold this up, if they're different lengths, they're not going to meet to make the vertex at the top. This part is going to be easy. I'm just going to put, I'm going to count up 3. So it's going to be 1.5 inches tall. I'm going to draw in that line. All right, so it goes from here to here. And I'm going to draw in that line. So it goes from one point to the next. A line of symmetry is going to divide this triangle in half so that it's a mirror image of each other. All right, with this first face that I did, it was easy. I didn't actually have to draw this in because it was already built into the grid paper. But with these two, it's not. I need to find the line of symmetry so I know where to put my point, where I put that vertex. I'm going to measure this, and I'm going to put a little dot right at the 1/2 inch mark, because I'm dividing this in half, right? This is now equal to this, and my line of symmetry is going to go through that point that I just made and through the opposite vertex. My point needs to be somewhere on this line. If I measure this, this is going to be 1.5 inches. So I need each of my edges, right? They're each going to be 1.5 inches. So when it comes together, it's perfectly aligned. So I'm going to take my ruler here and I'm going to put it on the 1.5 inch marker right there. And I'm going to swing this. I'm hitting my line of symmetry. I'm going to put a little mark there. Make sure that this side is also 1.5 inches. And here is this at 1.5 inches. So I use that line of symmetry to help me with my point. For my 4th and final triangle that's going to go here, I've got my 1 inch edge of my equilateral triangle. I'm going to put a mark right on the 1/2 inch spot. Okay, so I've divided this line in half, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and I need to draw my line of symmetry is going to go right through the opposite vertex and through that halfway mark. Draw my guideline. I know that I need it to be 1.5 inches, so I'm putting the beginning of my little ruler measurement here, and I'm going to swing this my 1.5 inch mark, and I'm going to double check it on the other side before I draw it. So it's 1.5 inches. I'm going to draw that in, and I'm going to draw this in. There you have it. There is one way. There are other ways. I will give you bonus points if you come up with multiple ways. For example, I showed you with the hexagonal prism. There's this way to do it, and here's another way to do it. Both are going to make hexagonal prisms, but two different, very different nets. So if you can come up with multiple nets for each geometric form, that is going to be bonus points, okay? So thank you very much for watching.
See you in class.